In the quiet town of Moscow, Idaho, a tragedy unfolded that captured headlines around the world. 4 young college students were brutally murdered in their off-campus home, and the mystery surrounding their deaths shook America. What followed was a long investigation, a nationwide manhunt, and finally, in 2025, a stunning courtroom decision. This is the full story of the Idaho student murders, the victims, the investigation, the suspect, and the shocking conclusion that left so many questions unanswered. The 4 victims were Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Ethan Chapin, Zana Kernodle. All were young University of Idaho students, full of life and dreams for the future. Friends described them as warm, funny, and deeply loved. Their loss devastated families and sent shockwaves through the close-knit college town. On the morning of November 13, 2022, police were called to the students' rental home. What they found was horrifying. The 4 students had been stabbed to death in the middle of the night. There were no signs of forced entry, no immediate suspect, and the brutality of the crime raised fears that a serial killer might be on the loose. The town of Moscow was paralyzed with fear. Detectives launched one of the largest investigations in Idaho's history. They collected forensic evidence, reviewed surveillance footage, and analyzed cell phone data. For weeks, the public had little information. Rumors spread online, theories circulated, and the pressure on police mounted. Families demanded answers. Who could commit such a senseless act? The breakthrough came from a critical piece of evidence: DNA found on a knife sheath at the crime scene. This DNA was matched to a suspect through genealogy databases. Police also tracked a white Hyundai Elantra caught on security cameras near the victim's house on the night of the murders. Combined with cell phone data placing him in the area, investigators built a case pointing toward one man, Bryan Kohberger, a 28-year-old criminology graduate student. In December 2022, Kohberger was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania. The news stunned the nation. A man studying criminal justice, someone learning about forensic science and criminal profiling, was accused of carrying out a real-life massacre. The arrest was only the beginning of a long legal battle, with both prosecutors and defense preparing for one of the most high-profile trials in recent memory. For nearly 3 years, the case wound its way through the courts. Prosecutors prepared for a possible death penalty trial. Defense attorneys challenged the evidence, raising questions about how DNA and digital data were collected. Meanwhile, the victims' families endured painful hearings, waiting for justice while the world watched. In July 2025, after years of anticipation, the case reached a stunning conclusion. Bryan Kohberger accepted a plea deal. He pled guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder, avoiding the death penalty but receiving 4 consecutive life sentences without parole. For some families, the plea was a relief, sparing them a long and traumatic trial. For others, it was frustrating, leaving them without clear answers about motive. In court, families gave heartbreaking statements. They spoke of the lives stolen, the empty seats at dinner tables, and the pain of never seeing their children again. The judge listened, then delivered the sentence. Bryan Kohberger would spend the rest of his life behind bars. The Idaho student murders shocked America, not only for their brutality, but for the chilling mystery of why they happened. Even with the case closed, the motive remains unclear. It's a tragic reminder of how fragile life can be. 4 young people gone, families forever changed, and a community left to heal. If you found this story important, subscribe to the channel. We bring you real, documented true crime stories from around the world. And remember, behind every headline are victims and families who must carry the pain long after the cameras are gone.